I can swim. Just can't walk or dress myself. Take it easy. Take it easy.
All's my life I has to fight, nigga. All's my life hard times like yeah, bad trips like yeah. Nazareth, I'm fucked up, homie, you fucked up, but if God got us, then we gon' be alright.
Nigga, we gon' be alright. Nigga, we gon' be alright. We gon' be alright. Do you hear me? Do you feel me? We gon' be alright. Nigga, we gon' be alright. Huh? We gon' be alright. Nigga, we gon' be alright. Do you hear me? Do you feel me? We gon' be alright.
And when I wake up, I recognize you looking at me for the pay cut. Bahamas, I be looking at you from the face down. One Mac 11, even boom with the bass down. Scheming, now let me tell you about my life. Painkillers only put me in the twilight. With pretty pussy and Benjamin is the highlight. Now tell my mama I love her, but this what I like, Lord knows. 20 of them in my Chevy, tell them all to come and get me. Reaping everything I sow, so my karma come in heaven. No preliminary hearings on my record. I'm a motherfucking gangster and silence for the record. Tell the world I know it's too late. Boys and girls, I think I've gone great. Trying to side my faces all day. Won't you please believe when I say, when you know we've been hurt, been down before. Nigga, when our pride was low, looking at the world like where do we go? Nigga, and we hate po-po, wanna kill us dead in the street for sure. Nigga, I'm at the preacher's door. My knees getting weak and my gun might blow, but we gon' be alright.
Nigga, we gon' be alright. Nigga, we gon' be alright. We gon' be alright. Do you hear me? Do you feel me? We gon' be alright. Nigga, we gon' be alright. Huh? We gon' be alright. Nigga, we gon' be alright. Do you hear me? Do you feel me? We gon' be alright.
What you want? You a house, you a car, 40 acres and a mule, a piano, a guitar, anything. See, my name is Lucy, I'm your dog. Motherfucker, you can live at the mall. I can see the evil, I can tell it, I know it's illegal. I don't think about it, I deposit every other zero. Thinking of my partner, put the candy, painting on a Rico. Digging in my pocket, in a profit, big enough to feed you every day. My logic, get another dollar just to keep you in the presence of your Chico. I don't talk about it, be about it, every day I sequel. If I got it, then you know you got it, heaven I can reach you. Pet dog, my dog, that's all. Big back and chat, I trap the back for y'all. I rap, I black on tracks, so rest assured. My rights, my wrongs, I right till I'm right with God. When you know, we been hurt, been down before. Nigga, when our pride was low, looking at the world like where do we go? Nigga, and we hate po-po, wanna kill us dead in the street for sure. Nigga, I'm at the preacher's door. My knees getting weak and my gun might blow, but we gon' be alright.
Nigga, we gon' be alright. Nigga, we gon' be alright. We gon' be alright. Do you hear me? Do you feel me? We gon' be alright. Nigga, we gon' be alright. Huh? We gon' be alright. Nigga, we gon' be alright. Do you hear me? Do you feel me? We gon' be alright.
I keep my head up high across my heart and hope to die. Love me is complicated, too afraid of my changes. I'm alright in your
Salute, and welcome. Welcome back to the Black Ocean. Now, we're getting deep in with your host, the one and only Great Black Shark. Oh, yeah. Y'all knew I wasn't going to leave this particular incident that happened hanging without giving commentary on it, because I know it's already happened and plenty of people have addressed it, but I'm going to address it and point out some things that you might not have heard about tonight. And even if you have, I'm going to not mince any words tonight dealing with this particular subject, because we've seen this over and over and over and over again. And I don't care who I offend in white America, because you need to be told the white truth, okay? Just like the thumbnail says. And we're going to tell you the white truth about yourself over here tonight. Because, see, I'm going to say this straight at the beginning of the broadcast. You white supremacists are really being very hypocritical about those 14 words that you believe in, or that you say you believe in. If you don't know what those 14 words are, look them up, okay? Everybody should if you're on this channel, but in that 14 words, they talk about building a future for white children and protecting them and all of that. And I'm like, okay, well, how can you do that when you have a society that coddles those amongst you, okay? And this is the ironic thing about it. Your society coddles the children amongst you that are a threat to themselves and your so-called future that you want to have. Oh, we're going to go there tonight. Oh, yes, we are. Because, see, if you spent as much time focusing on the truth about your community instead of trying to fabricate things about black people, always talking about Chicago and black on black crime, now you better be worried about that male on male crime. Because, see, during the pandemic, no matter what lies you put out, you suffered the greatest losses, not just in America, but globally, okay? Now, you're already struggling with your birth rates. The numbers steady depleting and plummeting, which is why I keep warning y'all, the lower that they start to see that number go, the more food they're going to cut. Be ready to defend yourselves, your family, and your community, okay? Because I already know what they're going to do. History has shown them doing the same thing over and over and over again. And if you have advance warning on something, then you need not be caught off guard, okay? Not if you're responsible and got some common sense. So I'm sitting on ready, okay? I mean, look, that's all I'm going to say. I'm sitting on ready, all right? But see, we're going to examine the problem because, see, this is why I keep telling y'all. Everybody should know, especially if you came up in a family with any kind of decency, that lying never helps anything, okay? That's dangerous because when you lie, you're not dealing with reality. And their problem is they lie to each other about them actually being threats to each other, okay? They do, the greater majority. Now, if you're a white person listening to this broadcast and that doesn't apply to you, I'm not talking about you, but you know the problem in your community, because if you're white and listen to this, you've been white all your life, okay? I'm not going to say nothing you don't know, but I'm going to break it down for my people tonight. So just letting y'all know what the gist of the broadcast is going to be here tonight. So with that said, let me scroll up, read my esteemed guests as join us over here in the building tonight. Let me make sure I see everybody. Hold on. That is up the way it's supposed to be. All right, let me see. I see the good sister Devin Haley over here. I see Black Truth United. Good Dr. Phillips is in the house. I see you, Jason Ferreira, Little Country Lamb, Silla T. Let's see. I see Tony in here, Willie McKinley, the good sister Sakina, Charlie X, Amir L, my good brother Nightfall Drop, Tanisha Murdoch. I see you. Brilliant Librarian, Patricia Jenkins in here. My good brother on the highways and byways, Diesel Mike over here. Welcome, brother. Project Leroy over here. I see you, brother. Derek Parker, Josh Norris. What's going on, young man? Let's see. Seven Skills in the building. Let's see. I don't miss anybody. The good brother EJ and Hot Tub Tony 77. Okay, brother. That sounds like, for some reason when I see that name, brother Hot Tub Tony, I think two things about you. I never met the brother, and I could be wrong. Okay, so don't take offense to this. I think that brother, that brother probably got it together with the ladies, smooth player, and he's probably a gambler. I mean, it's too smooth a nickname there, brother. You know what I'm saying? What's going on? My good brother King Hazy in here. What's going on, family? Salute. I might be wrong, brother Hot Tub Tony, but I don't know, man. That name seems to communicate some things there, brother. Hey, do you, man. Salute to you, black man. But anyway, family, we got some other things to touch on, man. Look at the brother laughing in the chat. See, it's all true. Hey, I ain't hating, brother. Hey, I respect the game, man. Hey, and see, you know what, brother Hot Tub? If it is true, my brother, see, white America, pay attention before I get into what I'm about to say. White America, maybe, just maybe, those of you that are hating on black folks, you might need to hire the smooth brothers like Hot Tub Tony out here to try to coach your kids so they don't be such disgruntled little youngsters that's running around off in your community. Because, I mean, you can't afford to take too many more hits, white supremacists. You can't. You can't afford to do it. Pandemic knocked off more of your numbers that you was already struggling. Then you got this opioid crisis going on in your community. Okay, then the fentanyl. I mean, come on, man. There's too much going against you. So, I mean, if I was a white man or a white woman, I would be more concerned about that than fabricating stuff talking about what about black on black crime. But, I'm going to leave it alone. Anyway, family, we're going to dive into something much more lighthearted here, okay, tonight before we get started, because there's several other news items I want to cover. But, in case you had a bad day or things are not going well, I'm going to try to put a smile on your face. So, got two little things we're going to check out real quick. Yeah, y'all have seen them before. Wanted to switch it up a minute, but, man, yeah. So, we're going to play these for y'all, man, and, hey, then we'll get started with the serious subject matter.
Hello, everyone. My name is Teacher Zaina, and I'm so excited to learn with you today. Let's practice spelling. Do you know what this is? Woman. Good job. How do you spell that? Uh-oh. Do you see more than one woman here? Do you see more than one? Let's try again. W-O-M-A-N. What does that spell? Woman! Good job! Don't do that shit again.
The best intentions for you. His plans are to prosper you.
Yeah.
Bring you to an expected end, but your life does not. Oh my God. Oh my God. Bruh, we gonna keep this? I can't even reach it, bro. This is...
Oh boy, the unbelievable crowd is gonna be mad at me for that last clip. Listen, shut up. I love y'all anyway. Nobody care about y'all being mad. Wear your natural hair, damn it. We men still love it. Men, don't we still love natural hair over here? Huh? Sign off and let them know in just in case they're mad at me. Nobody care about y'all being mad. Wear your natural hair. That's what God put on your head for you to wear, damn it. Okay? But anyway, family, listen. Boy, and then the first one, the sister Zaina there. And for what I understand, I think she's a Trinity sister, but she is hilarious. Man, let me tell you something, dude. I came across, because I follow on X or what have you. I came across a short that she posted up. She got this little funny thing that she do. If you watch the content, y'all probably seen it. She got this little funny little crowd walk dance she be doing in some of it. Man, bruh, that sister had me laughing so hard one time, man. Boy, I almost couldn't breathe, bruh. I'm trying to tell you, that sister's super funny. So, shout out to you, Sister Zaina, man. You are hilarious. And you're a gorgeous sister, too. Beautiful head, a beautiful hair, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you know what I'm saying? So, just shout out to her, man. I just wanted to play that. I thought it was funny. I think she's funny. If you don't know who she is, check her out sometime, okay? Salute to you. So, anyway, got to get into some more serious business. But I see y'all cracking up in the chat, man. Hey, listen, if something happened to your brother, man, it'll be the unbelievable team that have come after me. But they don't like when I talk about that hair boy and them Batman lashes that they be wearing. But listen, I'm going to keep talking about it until more of y'all start embracing who you naturally are, okay? Y'all got to stop this Miss Muppet Baby and Miss Potato Head package that y'all got going on, man. That's kind of played out. Go back to originality, okay? I miss them days. That's one thing I miss about the early 90s, okay? The 90s era. A lot of our sisters were much more original, but hey, I digress. We got to get into some things elsewise in the news, though. I want to show y'all something else. Yeah, did y'all see this? Did y'all see this? Family, when I first saw this, in the world of AI and Photoshop and all that, I was like, nah, ain't no way. Nah, that ain't real. Why they playing, man? But lo and behold, ladies and gentlemen, tis not fake. Tis not fake. It is not fake at all, because I'm going to play for you the evidence that it is not fake, brothers and sisters. Now I'm gonna pause this so that you can see it. Hey, I know y'all like, man, is this real? Oh, yes, it's real. Cause see, just so that you can see for sure that this is a Trump hat, a 2024 Trump hat at that. Oh, let me show you. Oh, yeah, let me get this way y'all can see it. I bet y'all like, oh, GBS, you done Photoshop, so you done did some AI magic. No. I did not do that. This is a real video, ladies and gentlemen. You see the hat? Can y'all see it? Right there. Now, while I let this go ahead and finish out, I have some conjecture and speculation. Could it be that Jim Crow Joe said, you raggedy bastards done sit here, man, and had me do all this work against Black America, locking their black asses up and sabotaging them, and you gonna kick me to the curb like this? Damn it, where the MAGA hat people at? Why is he? I got questions. Why is he even kicking it around that crowd? You heard the little dude call him a whole fart and everything. And I'm like, you know, boy, because you know it. Come on, man. Let's keep it real. You know Jim Crow Joe got to feel some type of way about that. You know what I'm saying? Now, look, I really don't care because his ass was a national security threat. Got one out the way. Now we got to get rid of the other national security threat, Kamami Harris, okay? Or as I call her, Kamami Myers. And y'all know why. If not, just check the last broadcast. I ain't going to be petty with that tonight. But both of them got to go, okay? They fucked this country up, and they're trying to finish it off because they definitely don't work for the American people no more. And not only do they need to go, look, I'm going to tell you what I want to see. I know some people are going to clutch their pearls, the shield billies that vote blue no matter who are going to die when they hear me say this. But the Democrats need to lose about a good 12 years worth of elections. They do. They need to, they need to. It should be, I want them to be demoralized to the point where they just be like, what's the point of us even trying to win the election? Because I'm going to tell you why. Because of the way they've treated Black America. Oh, trust me. Yeah, I mean that. They need to not even come close to, look, and not just the presidential election. They need to get their ass tore up in the Senate, in Congress, governorships, mayors, everywhere. It should be, Democrat should be a word that is synonymous with the greatest of filth in society, okay? It should. Because that's the way they've treated our people and they've been disgusting towards us. Family, y'all just don't understand. But see, if you think I'm exaggerating about that, I got something else to show you. So I'm going to let this finish out and then we're going to get straight to that. Yeah. Y'all probably thought that wasn't real, but yeah, there it is. But see, I'm not done showing you what I need to show you yet because your buddy Biden on the screen here. Oh, yeah. Let me show you why I said what I said. Yeah. Take a look at that. Take a good look at it. I got that enhanced where everybody can see it. Oh, take a good look at that. Family, have y'all seen this? Because some of you might not have seen this, but see, this is what the job of the new black media is, to try to expose you to things that you might not be aware of. And this is why you hear me, one of the main people that's been touting the two terms, political punishment towards the Democrats. Now, family, we're going to read this, and I'm going to tell you what my problem is, okay? Biden hosting first of it, Biden-Harris, let me correct myself, Biden-Harris hosting first of its kind Black Excellence Brunch at the White House. Okay. So, I'm probably like, well, what's the problem, GBS? Because I know all the Clyburn catfish nugget people and, you know, the people that love Kamami's delicious tub wash greens, okay, with Hindu bed with seasoning, they probably have an issue, okay? So, let me go ahead and do what I always do when I present this type of news. I'm going to put this very article for your reading consumption in the chat room 3 times so that you will have access to that and you will see the entire thing here because I'm not going to go through the whole article. I like to make y'all do your homework. Let me tell you something, family. These low-life, degenerate Democrat bastards have sit up here and gave tangibles to every other group of people that are citizens and non-citizens in this country. All you got for Black America, shillbillies, pay attention, because I get it. The shillbillies, the only thing you have to do is throw them some catfish niggas and pat their stupid asses on the head. But you sit here and give all those tangibles to other people, and this is all you got for Black America, a damn brunch? If you don't roll that brunch up, turn it sideways, and stick it straight up your ass, you better come with some damn policies. And look, let me just go ahead and be extra cruel with this. I was about to say something. I'll put it this way. Black folks don't really eat white folks' food like that. I'll say it in the most polite way that I can, because I started to say something else. Keep your food. We don't eat at y'all houses like that, okay? You know we don't. Nobody wants your raggedy, unseasoned food. You better come with these damn policies. That's what you better come with. But see, family, this is why I say they need to crash and burn. They need to lose a good 12 election cycles. They do. They don't need to come nowhere close to running any damn thing, because, see, when you had the privilege of doing so, all you had to do was do right by your voter base. Say what you want about the Republican Party, but at least they try to take care of their voter base. I'll give them that. Okay? What do you do over here, Democrats? Your voter base? No, you disrespect Black America at every turn, so much so that during most of this election season here, they're not even talking about anything about Black America as far as doing anything. Y'all notice that? Because their strategy is to legalize all these damn illegal aliens, okay? So I just wanted to make sure that y'all saw that firsthand in case you didn't see it anywhere else. They got something for us, family, a damn branch. Don't y'all feel special? Oh, they're going to feed us, family. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, hey, give the niggers something, see? And I mean, you know what the sad part is about it? As much as I just said about that, it's going to be some silly Negroes that be like, well, they did do a brunch for us. And they sitting here watching illegal aliens come in this country in less than 2 years, and they owning homes, huh? Oh, but you excited about a damn brunch and your ski-wee VP. Boy, these people make me sick. But anyway, family, that's the bit of news I had to take care of before we get started tonight. So we're going to examine this little demonic domestic terrorist right here. We're going to examine this because, see, you know, they love to talk about black on black crime and everything that everybody does is black or even black adjacent, like tells us, okay, oh, but they can see everything as long as it's not in their community, okay? Man, look, and see, another thing before we get started here. I don't know if you checked out my YouTube short section. I'm going to start putting certain things back over there. Now, if you wonder where all the old shorts are, you got to be over there on the Black Ocean Patreon and the Zone 2 tier. Got all the classic ones over there because I'm going to leave them over there because those are the ones, man, that, boy, look, y'all see how my mind works, okay? Sometimes when I put something together, boy, it just set them off. So, boy, they went in attack mode over my shorts, boy. I like, okay, I got something for that. We still going to do them, but the classics is going to be over there. The new stuff is going to be a bit more tame. So if I do put up anything that's kind of, you know, pushing the boundaries or pushing the lines, it'll be over there on the Black Ocean Patreon, the Zone 2 tier, okay? But the latest short that I put up with that goofy Wench of Craftington, that's right, I've given them royal titles along with the Books of Bennington series coming on both soon, okay, on Patreon. But if you saw my latest YouTube short, you got these goofy bed wenches that's always raving about Zaddy. Oh, I'm going to get me a Zaddy. Or, I mean, just check that latest short out if you hadn't seen it. They have no idea what they're walking into. All they got to do, look, for black men and black women, you bed books of Bennington and Wenches of Craftington. If you're thinking about the grass is green on the other side, all you got to do is talk to some white women and some white men. They'll tell you they people is far from perfect. Huh? Wenches of Craftington, talk to some white women. But see, I know you ain't going to do that because you're thinking, oh, she's just jealous of me because I'm her competition. You will never be a white woman's competition. You won't. Books of Bennington, you ain't going to never be a white man's competition. Because see, this is what them dummies don't understand. I'm going to point out two critical things before we move on. Let's just say you go and get Zaddy or you get Becky. Okay. You got to understand that, hey, coming up, you got to understand where the greater majority of them have been taught to think about us. They grew up in families where they folks, you know, they memas and all that, saying the N word at the dinner table, all kinds of N jokes. Okay. They've heard this from the time they were children. So you got to think that, hey, everything that they've been told is taboo. They're like, you know what? I just want to experience it one time. Let me see what they're trying to keep me from. Huh? So you're basically a fetish, whether you're a man, a black man, or a black woman. So now let's just say you finally get with one. They engage in all types of gutter sex with you, what have you. And yeah, boy, like Neely Fuller Jr. said, the only people that get out of bed confused in that situation is black folks, not white folks. So after they finish having their fun with you, okay, a lot of them don't realize that, all right, even if they choose to stay with you for a while and, you know, to get that occasional fix, what always happens, this part that none of them talk about on either end of the equation, the black men or the black women, the bed bugs or the wenches of Cratterton. They don't talk about that them white partners of theirs, shall we call them, cheat on them with white folks. They do. Because look, that's what they know. They going to go back to that. Now, I've seen it happen two ways. They'll try to hide it, okay, and then go tip off on the side and get what they're going to get. Or they might get tired of them, like, you know what, nigga, I don't really care if you find out that I'm cheating on you with my people, because hell, you know, you was just something to do. You was a novelty item. Boy, what I just said has broken their spirits because it's the truth. It's the truth, man. See, I deal in reality. I don't live in a fantasy world, all right? So, you know, there's that. And see, here's the other thing. When it go left, and I say this for both, I'm one of the few people that you will hear call it down the middle. If you's a bed wench, you over there, you talking like that about black men, when Zaddy go upside your head or whatever, your family need not come to us. I'm not saying a damn thing in your favor, okay? You spend that vitriol and that hatred towards us like that and denigrating us, hey, because I'm like this, even if you go get you a white man, a white woman, or whatever, I don't really have a problem with that as long as you're not talking bad about our people. When you start talking bad about our people, fuck you and everything you stand for. That's where I stand on that, all right? And I mean that. And I say the same thing for the bed bugs. If you're one of these bastards running around talking how black women ain't shit, the B-dub and all the other goofy shit like that, all right, cool. When you run into, what's her name, Courtney Clenny, and she decide to practice her knitting skills on your ass, hey, bruh, I'm not putting the cape on for you, and I wouldn't tell no black woman to do it either. I damn sure wouldn't. I'm like, look, bruh, hey, you got what you wanted. You know, it's a Courtney Clenny out there waiting to practice her knitting skills on your ass. So, you know what I'm saying? If you want to become the next Christian Obumseli, be my guest, bruh. Hey, man, I mean, because by now, man, if you're going to ignore the history between our people, man, look, if you got to just step outside your race, consider other things other than them folks. You know what I'm saying? What? You just got to have them folks, man. Look, I could be here all night going into that, okay? Because they're just, for me, it's a no. No, I'm cool on that, all right? Now, we can do business together. That we can do. If you're trying to produce some justice, we can do that. Boys dealing with your folks, nah, I'm cool, man. And see, you know, look, if y'all really want to know my thoughts on that, I might have to go into detail about why I'm so adamant against that. I've covered it over the years, but if you really want me to drill down on that, let me know, and I'll put that on Patreon, because it would not be kind, okay? I'm just going to keep it a buck, you know what I'm saying? I'm not about, you know, sparing people's feelings. So if you want me to spill the beans on that, I will let you know. Because see, look, I'm just not going to be a fool. I seen what they've done to our people historically. I see what they still continue to do to them. Jonathan Majors, anybody, running a marathon away from her, and then the man still get convicted of a misdemeanor? Really? Running away from that psycho, boy. Anyway, we're going to get into what we got to discuss here tonight. So we're going to go ahead and get started examining some things, and then we're going to drill down on this demonic little Mayo hellspawn here and see white America, until you do something about this problem. If you gave this problem that you have in your community the same scrutiny that you always trying to put on black folks, you might be able to solve the problem, because a lot of y'all already know who the psychopaths amongst you are, amongst them little demons that you raising over there. Huh? See, you nigga all the time at your house, you know what I'm saying, making little nigga jokes and stuff. And when you go in public, y'all laughing at each other about the inside joke that the niggas don't know. And then the whole time that you spewing that hatred at us, the little hellspawn that you raising is targeting your whole family. Think I'm lying about that? Mess around and take little Tiffany and Connor's Xbox controller away or their PlayStation away, and watch what happens. We've covered stories on this channel where they get up and murder their whole family over something just that trivial, huh? Come on now. Y'all know now. I got the content over here. Can't nobody tell me I'm making that up. Okay. But anyway, we're gonna get started here because there's a lot to cover over here tonight, family. Get straight to it.
I do want to get to the latest on the deadly shooting at a high school outside of Atlanta. The father of the 14-year-old student accused of opening fire, killing 2 classmates and 2 teachers, says his son was bullied, tormented, and called gay by his classmates. The comments were made during a police interrogation of Colin Gray last year after the FBI alleged his then 13-year-old son Colt was behind online posts threatening a school shooting. A transcript of that police interrogation was obtained by Fox News. Colin Gray telling law enforcement, quote, "Colt's gone through a lot. It just was very difficult for him to go to school and not get picked on by, it went from one thing to another to, he was talking to the couple friends that he has." The father discussing bullying, telling law enforcement Colt was, quote, ridiculed, quote, "I was trying to get him on the golf team, like, quote, oh, look, Colt's gay. He's dating that guy," just ridiculed him day after day after day.
Now, let me stop the sob story right here because, boy, they love trying to humanize their little domestic demonic terrorists, okay? Because that's what they are. I'm not going to mince words about what these creatures are. They love trying to humanize them, but see, you remember the special needs brother down there that they should have had somebody trained to deal with him in the class. Okay, that was adopted by that white lady. He jumped on that teacher because, they took, I think, what was it, a Nintendo Switch or some little game away from him. And he had an episode like that. See, if you're not, it should be illegal for them to even have, somebody that's not trained to deal with a special needs child dealing with them at all, because you need to understand what psychological triggers come along with that. That brother couldn't help himself. All right. Big dude, what have you, but he still, he has the mental capacity of a child, basically. OK, so they don't have no compassion for somebody that's something they can't help about themselves at all. Oh, boy, they just act like it was the worst thing in the world. But see, this little demonic hill spawn here. Remember the pictures that they put out initially? OK, remember those pictures that they put out initially? Try to show his little innocent side, little innocent pictures. Fact of business. While we talking about that, before I get further in this, you know what? There's one thing I forgot to add. Let me take care of that and add this right now. Because see, these disrespectful bastards here, I can't believe I forgot to put this in here. Oh, don't worry, family. Give me just a second. I'm going to definitely show you what they did, because y'all know what I'm about to mention. Many of you saw that during the initial reporting phases of this. This right here, man, couldn't be my family member, boy, because I would sue the shit out their ass. Let me see if I can find this real. Should have already had this queued up. It's so much to get to here lately regarding this, but here it is right here. Let me go ahead and put this up on the screen so everybody can see it. Yeah, remember this? Oh yeah, we're gonna put your funky ass on blast, WSB TV. Yeah, we're gonna put your asses on blast, okay? Let me tell you something, man. They put this little black boy's face up here, and he was one of the victims. You see this? They tried to, and then they deleted the tweet. But see, that's the thing about the internet. It's forever. We're not going to forget about that. And see, Georgia, down here, man, that rarely ever happens. Now, Winder, Georgia, it's up north. Okay, northern Georgia, you damn near getting out of state. If you just go a couple miles up. Small town. It's not really a big place. It's a city, but you call it a town. All right, them folks is up there, boy, and the backwoods are the most backwood, okay? So, see, a lot of people, when you think redneck, you think way down in the deep south. No, hey, all over this state, they got them, okay? Don't matter where you go, north, south, east, west. They down here, okay? So now, this despicable act, you think about if there was a black news reporting agency and something happened in the white community to this effect, and then, you know what I'm saying, we misreported like this on purpose, okay? If it was a black child that did something like that, and our children ain't running around shooting up schools, not even Pookie and Ray Ray. If it was a black child that did that, and then we put up a white kid, they would lose their mind. So I'm gonna tell you something, boy. You bastards, you think, look, I'm just gonna say this like this. I'm not trying to brag. You bastards are gonna fuck around and catch black folks that actually got some bread to go at your ass. All of us are not broke. You better understand that. Cause boy, y'all just don't understand. This couldn't be my relative. This couldn't be my relative, okay? my whole family would invest whatever we need to get at your ass, okay? I'm trying to tell you. But see, I just wanted to show y'all that despicable act right there in case you didn't see that. Because see, here's the thing. They try to put out these little innocent pictures of him instead of his mugshot like you see right here. So now let's get to some of what was mentioned in this initial report here before we get back to the commentary that they were making. First and foremost, you the boy's father. Now, I'm going to tell you something I've never understood in white America because I'm not a part of white society, had never been, don't want to be, okay? I've never understood how you have a little boy, and y'all can tell me if I'm reaching with this because I told you I'm an old school, ironclad Gen X, okay? I'm from the old guard, all right? I have a very old soul, okay? Came up around foundational Black American freedmen, masculine men on both sides of my family. That's all I know, okay? Let me tell you something. I've never understood, if you look at the bottom left hand, the screen over here, you see Colt Gray over there. Y'all see something wrong with this picture? Because I'm going to tell you what I see that's wrong with it. Does anybody in the chat room, before I say anything, who sees what I'm probably going to comment on here? How many of y'all see what's wrong? How many of y'all see what's wrong? Because see, I'm going to tell you, if I was a father and I had a son, especially if I was a white guy, I was like, oh, no, we got to do something about this. How many of y'all see what's going on? Okay, I'm going to see. I'm going to give you a couple seconds before I tell you. Okay, I'm seeing some people. I haven't seen anybody get it yet. Hey, somebody said hair color. No, not quite hair color. Amir Earl probably came close. Okay, Melvin Harrison Jr., no. Ain't got nothing to do with his sexuality because, you know, I doubt that the boy was gay. You know what I'm saying? Can't confirm it or not, but I doubt it. Kids will be kids. Okay? Send a couple of people, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if y'all can get it. Frankie Swarthy, you got it. You got it, my brother. You and Amir Earl got it. Yes. The length of that little boy's hair. Hell, you got a boy, not a girl. Why in the hell is his hair that long like that? Huh? See, here's the thing. Let me go ahead and get straight direct to the point. Let's do some compare and contrast. If you had a little black boy and he decided to get some dreadlocks or some twists, he still looks masculine that way. He don't look like no chick. When you got a white child with their texture of hair and you let him grow his hair out like this, come on, man, really? Man, you cut that boy's hair, man. How you sit up here like, no, son, no, you look like a little old bitch with your hair like this, okay? Now, children are going to be children, especially look, white kids, but you know they're going to pick on you. And again, I'm just pointing out what I see because I've never been a white child. I'm not a white man, but I'm just saying that does not look masculine, all right? And then, you know, as far as people picking on you or whatever about your sexuality, that probably has something to do with that. I'm not saying it's right, but children are going to be children, all right? So now I'm looking at his daddy here. I got to go here. His daddy, sorry piece of shit, he is talking about he's a good boy after he done murdered people. No matter what they do, boy, they call them boys nonetheless. 14-year-old Tamir Rice playing with a toy gun, cop jump out and shoot him in his face instantly. He's a grown man, huh? They always address our children as grown men, even when they don't do anything close to this right here, okay? But see, this is the problem, man. His father with this look on his face, and I get it, this is his mugshot, but he looks like a little sorry, mealy-mouthed, beta male bastard. How you ain't teaching? First of all, if you're on your job, your son hair wouldn't be that long if he's under your roof. You would be teaching him manhood skills. And see, this is why we roast in our community, because, hey, if somebody picking on you, shit, pick on their ass back. Become a master of words. These motherfuckers are so soft and they want to tell you that they have high IQs and they falsely claim that they're the epitome of manhood, run around talking about how tough they are. And all it takes is a few well-placed words. Oh my God, you're picking on me. They're calling me gay. Well, all right, guys. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go get that gun. I'm coming back and shoot everybody in the school. That's what you do. Boy, let me tell you something, man. When I was a kid, all that talking and yammering, you could say whatever you want to say about me. I'll crack jokes with you all day long. The only thing that way you would fuck up at if you ever cross the line and put your damn dick beaters on me, I would fuck you up beyond the description of the word. I don't care what you say. Just don't touch me, okay? Don't touch me. Been that way all my life. I don't care what threats you make. All right, do it over there. Because now you get within swinging range, and you're probably going to get popped first. I'm not going to wait till you. So I'm just saying, my point is this. Men raised me, okay? I didn't go for who tied the bear, like we say down here in the South. All right, I wouldn't run around trying to start shit with people. Okay, but if you ever brought trouble my way, I was well trained and prepared for it. In my case, my father and my uncles began teaching me martial arts at a very early age, and now I have well over 30 years of experience. Okay, those of you that don't know, I have black belts in 2 different styles of martial arts. All right. So it's like, hey, ass stomping for me was something I enjoyed if you made me have to go there. All right. So now his boy, I got to go here with it. I'm going to speculate because I can't confirm or deny this, but just looking at the picture here, and I'm going over this for a reason, so bear with me. Just looking at the picture here, how many men in this chat room? And ladies, I'm asking the men for a reason, no disrespect to you, but I'll need to see what the black men in here think. How many men think that this is the type of father before this happened that you was teaching this boy how to do things with his hands, okay? Not just fighting, but building things. You was teaching him in life, hey, you're a boy that's going to be a man. Life is not going to be easy for you. As a man, if you grew up one day and have a family, okay, or even if you don't have one, you have to be trained to deal with life's problems. Life is not easy. Now, I know in white America, hey, that's a different reality. They can fail up, okay? In black America, we can't fail up, all right? We can't. We have to learn to deal with problems. So see, this is another drawback about the system of white supremacy. So the other questions I must ask, brothers, how many of you think that his father, in conjunction with what I just mentioned, was the type of father that was like, hey, son, all right, you living with me? Hey, we're going to go out here and keep our physical fitness together. We're going to go out here and run. We're going to hit these weights together, okay? And let me feed your mind with other things so that you can be taught how to socialize like a normal person in the world, okay? How many of you think his father was actually doing that? But see, I wonder if that dad have an alcohol problem or a drug problem, because I have to ask. And I get it. You're a white man, but you see your boy look like that. I'm some of y'all gonna find this cruel, man, but I think the men are gonna feel me. I think the men are gonna feel me. Let me ask a question, okay? Let me ask a question. Looking at this boy right here, don't he look soft to y'all? So somebody tell me, doesn't he look soft to y'all? Does he not look soft to y'all? Tell me. Because he looks soft to me. If this was my boy and I saw this, I'd be like, oh, no, I got work to do, huh? Now, I don't know, what the situation is with the boy's mother. Maybe his dad, they split up and sent him to go live with him. Okay, if the child is going to go come live with you and that's the right thing to do if y'all split up, ladies, listen to me. If y'all can't make it, as long as that father isn't a criminal, don't have a drug habit, nothing dangerous to the child or whatever, that child get on up 10, 12, send him to live with his daddy. Let his daddy finish his manhood training. You can't do that if that's an option, like I said, okay? So I'm just looking at him, man. I'm like, man, no, bro. I mean, I would try to compromise with him. I'd be like, look, bro, if you want some hair on your head, it can't be this long, man. We got to get this stuff above your ears. All right, now pick whatever hairstyle you want. You're not going to have locks and swinging tresses running around here looking like a little fucking Barbie doll, okay? That's just me, man. I'm just asking. So I just wanted to point that out, you know what I'm saying, see what y'all think in the chat. We're going to break this down from the A road to the zero tonight. Let's let it continue.
Colt and Colin Gray both face charges in connection with Wednesday's shooting at Appalachia High School in Winder, Georgia, that killed 4 people and wounded 9 others. The teen is charged with murder, and his father is accused of second-degree murder for providing his son with a semi-automatic AR-15 style rifle that was used in the shooting. Arrest warrants say the elder Gray did so knowing his son, quote, was a threat to himself and others. Now, our Fox 5 Atlanta team has been following this around the clock, and
Now, you see that? You heard what they said. He gave this boy an automatic weapon, knowing he was a threat to himself and others. Now, see? And rightly so, they arrested his punk-ass dad because, yes, he's culpable for this, too. And FBI, we looking at you, too. Right now, the FBI is listening to this broadcast. Oh, trust me, they are. Oh, they listen to all our broadcasts, especially mine with my background. I already know you listen. Yeah. But see, you invest all this time and all this surveillance in black folks. And if y'all don't believe me, if you remember my Patreon, let me tell you something. The brothers and sisters over there that are on my Patreon in this chat, they will tell you will find a wealth of rare information over there that can back up everything I'm saying. I have documents over there that show you how much they invest. Looking at you, FBI, I know you're listening. I know how much you spend in surveillance on Black America every year. Just go over there on my Patreon. You'll see it. Type in the search bar for those of you that hadn't checked it out that's already over there. Type in what I'm talking about. You'll see. I've even got documentation of different type of devices they use. I go into withering detail with that, with different types of information on Patreon, okay? So my point is this. You invest all this surveillance into Black America, but yet the threat with your people is right in front of you, and you're just like, meh, okay. He's a little white kid. We can't ruin his life. I don't know. We got to give him a chance to shoot up some people now. We can't just go and run and treat him like a little nigger kid. You can't give him the Tamir Rice treatment. Oh, no, you can't do that by any means. You got to wait till he slaughter countless innocent lives. You think about all these mass shootings that we had, mass killings, really. Stoneman Douglas High School. I mean, do I have to there's not enough time in this broadcast to name all of them. Y'all know over the years we covered some of them. So they sit there knowing all of this about him and didn't take no intervention before this. So my question, like I said at the beginning of the broadcast, how much do you really believe in those 14 words, white supremacists? Let's let it continue.
We want to take you to some of their coverage.
The suspected shooter in the Appalachia High School shooting and his father are both behind bars this morning. Yesterday, the pair sat before a judge in separate court hearings. Accused killer, 14-year-old Colt Gray, was first read his charges, including 4 counts of murder. And then his father sat before a judge to hear his, which included involuntary manslaughter. Good day's Lindsay Tuman following these developments live outside the high school this morning with what the judge and the DA had to say about the case. Good morning to you, Lindsay.
Good morning to you, Caitlin. Emotions have certainly been high these last few days, and yesterday we saw that as well in the courtroom while the families of those victims sat and saw the face of the alleged gunman in all of this. Now, this case has also been setting a precedent of sort in how it's being handled, especially in consideration to the suspect's father.
You're charged with 4 counts of felony murder.
14-year-old Colt Gray sat before a judge Friday morning as the victims' families watched from the courtroom. It was the first appearance for the teenager police say is behind the deadly shooting at Appalachia High School that left 4 people dead and 9 others injured. He's being charged as an adult.
Absolutely, not just the victims here, but every victim. And you don't have to have been physically injured in this to be a victim. Everyone in this community is a victim. Every child in that school was a victim.
Piedmont Judicial.
Let me stop that bastard right there. The only victims in the situation are the families that lost their children. And see, I'm going to go here with roller skates on, family. I got to do this. You notice how they love to just gun down innocent Black folks that are unarmed. Oh, boy, you come out with your SWAT teams and shoot us 60, 70 times. But you don't shoot these mass shooters amongst your community like that, huh? You little demonic domestic terrorists like Colt Gray. You don't shoot. You notice that? They can come out. They can be. I've shown you over the years video of them shooting at police. You remember them 2 little teenagers? I think a little boy and girl like 13 and 14 had a whole shootout with the police. They did everything they could not to fire back at them, huh? And that's not the only incidents. I've shown you incidents over here on this channel over the years where white people can be armed, knives, everything, chasing the police. They running from them. They don't even want to tase them, let alone actually open their fire. The only way they open fire on them, it's got to be so bad to the point where they damn near done probably hit a couple of cops or what have you or something like that. And even then, that's rare, huh? I'm just saying, man. So, yeah, I'm going there. See, I'm going to put this mirror up in your face tonight, white America. Let's let it continue.
Circuit District Attorney Brad Smith spoke about the decision to bring charges against the 14-year-old's father, Colin Gray.
My understanding is this is the second time in the United States and the first time in Georgia.
The 54-year-old was arrested on Thursday. He's facing charges for second-degree murder and involuntary manslaughter. Investigators say he allowed his son to have a weapon.
My job is to prosecute people without fear favor, fear, or affection, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm not trying to send a message.
Now, both Colt and Colin Gray both denied to seek bond or declined to seek bond, so they are both held behind bars. Of course, there is a long way to go throughout this legal process, and we'll keep you updated along the way. But for now, that's the latest from Barrow County. I'm Lindsay Tuman for Good Day Atlanta.
Process just beginning. All right, thanks so much, Lindsay. And hundreds of people paused to honor the victims killed in the shooting, gathering in Jug Tavern Park in Winder for a vigil last night. Despite the rain, the crowd pulled together to try and find some semblance of healing and honor the lives of those 4 victims. One man traveled hundreds of miles just to be there.
I'm from a little town just outside of Detroit, Northville, Michigan. Left last night and just arrived about an hour ago. This community is in dire need of hope, healing, and love.
Salute to the good brother Black Truth United for the cash out. Thank you very much, my good brother. Now, I'm going to point something else out of this, and I don't care how callous this sounds. I got to do this because they're always doing it to our community. Family, you notice that during this media coverage, you notice that what they're covering right here, where they had this vigil. Can anybody name for me? Because look, if you name it for me, I'll actually acknowledge it, because I have not seen this, and I honestly don't think it exists until anybody provides me with proof of it. Whether it's live right now during this broadcast or after in the comment section, okay? White folks, because I know you're listening, huh? Family, can you provide for me, if you have the knowledge and the proof, of any white preachers, huh? Where's Joel Osteen or whichever one of them you want to name, because I don't listen to their preachers or none of them like that. But where the white preachers coming out telling the white community they need to do better? Where's that at? Where's any white politician saying white America needs to do better? Where they at? Where are the prominent white celebrities saying, gosh, boy, you know, we need to do better as a community? Why am I bringing that up? Because, see, that only happens with black folks, huh? That only happens with us. That you notice they don't take something that one of them does and put that on their entire community, even though it's a rampant problem. Soon as something happened in Black America, oh boy, all of us responsible for the foolishness of one silly Negro that have done something, huh? See, I'm going there for a reason, because see, we got to start calling that out, man. That's why you don't hear me engage that we need to do better talk. No, what one bastard did don't reflect on the entire community, huh? What a segment of the community doesn't reflect on Black America as a whole. Not realistically. Now in the media, they'll paint it that way, because see, I'm like, okay, if that's the standard, then why don't we apply that to white America? Talk to me now. You're not going to hear nobody out here saying that type of sentiment. So I just want to put that on your mind. Let's let it continue.
Dan Beasley brought a 10-foot-tall wooden cross to that vigil. He's taking crosses to vigils for other mass shootings across the nation. And in the wake of the violence, we've seen a flood of school threats across our communities. Authorities say they've investigated now hundreds of social media threats over the past 3 days. So far, at least 11 people ranging in age from 12 to 26 have been arrested across several different counties for making threats online or spreading false information about active shooters. Police say these actions are not taken lightly.
Now let's pause and deal with that right there. Let's pause and deal with that right there, because see, let's deal with why. And because you know it's kids in their community. Ain't no black child playing with nothing like that, because they know, hey, if they got caught, they already know what's going to happen to you. Okay? So it's white kids doing that. But let's talk about why they do that. See, I can prove what I'm saying, and every one of you is going to attest to this fact that I'm about to state that can be easily verified. Family, look at the stuff that they joke about. Let's start with what happens in Black America. How many memes did we see? And I'm going somewhere with this. I want you to follow me. How many memes did we see when the brother George Floyd was murdered, first-degree murder, and I'm going to keep saying that because that's what we saw, was murdered, but they got memes up where they posing and kneeling on each other's necks. Anytime some type of tragedy happened to black folks, oh, it's all fun and games. It's funny then. So see, white supremacists, you laugh with your kids about that, but see, what you're not realizing is, and this is the cancerous part, another cancerous part about white supremacy. What you're not realizing is that even if they just doing that towards black folks, something is wrong with any human being that would make light of something like that. So when you ignore that threat, when they start turning that degeneracy towards your community, it's not funny anymore then, huh? When it hit you, when it hit home. Yeah, see, this is the cancer that's here in America. And you have jackasses like Tim the Gum Scott and Commandment talking about America ain't a racist country. The hell it ain't. When the hell it ever stopped being racist? Name me the date and the time that it stopped, huh? So see, when you have a psychotic mind like that and you ignore it and just let them run around like they're normal, they take this stuff as funny. All you got to do is look on any social media site and just look at what their kids be joking about. It's always some type of sick, degenerate crap, okay? And see, I got to go here with it because I've seen this multiple times too. I can do a whole broadcast on this. One thing that I noticed between the humor with black folks, yeah, everybody's going to laugh at comedy, this, that, the third. But when that comedy crosses certain lines, we're like, hey, man, that's not funny. It's not funny. But you know who does think it's funny? The tether class. Oh, I'm going to go here with roller skates on. Yes, I am. That tether class X is a prime example of that. Notice, and I caught this years ago, I noticed that when you start to go over there and look in a lot of these comment sections, for example, under like when they was posting pictures of themselves kneeling on each other's necks, mocking George Floyd, okay, the tethers will be right up under that kikiing and cacaing with the white supremacists. I've seen this. Case in point, remember what I put y'all up on game about, you know, that Pepe the Frog meme? I see continental Africans, yes, I'm going there, and some Caribbean people using that. And I know by now they have to know what it means. They be right in the comment section laughing with them, okay? I ain't gonna sugarcoat shit. I'm gonna call it locked down the middle like it is, okay? Because they want to identify with them so bad, and East Africans are some of the worst about that. Yeah, I'm going there, you Somalis. That description fits. If you a Somali person, I ain't talking about you, and that's not you, then all right then. But you know what your people do, okay? So they join right in with that, and see, that go to show you how depraved and demented their mindset is, okay? Because, you know, we don't even make light of their tragedies like that. We don't. We really don't. The greater majority of black people, if something happened to their children or whatever, we're like, man, that's messed up. Them kids, man, you know what I'm saying? But see, they don't see us, and definitely not our children as human. They see us as something to be exterminated. And see, all you got to do is just expand that out to gentrification, expand that out to the current political cycle. They're not even mentioning Black America on either side, okay? Expand that out to how they're always prioritizing everybody else on the economic ladder other than us. You telling me these people are not trying to enact a final solution towards black people? I'm pointing this all out to say this. You have a problem, white America. You're a little degenerates or sick. They're sitting up here trying to do copycat and prank stuff about this because, look, they're targeting you first. Hadn't you figured that out yet? If I was a white person knowing that my numbers have all these obstacles against them, an opioid crisis, okay? You got your little demonic, psychotic mass shooters out here, okay? Then you took them great losses during the pandemic that you can't replace. You got too much working against you. And then heaven help you if Commandment gets in office, boy, I got to agree with Trump on this. It's not even about like, I'm just looking at the facts. Fuck around and let World War III kick off. Who you think they're going to be drafting? You think about it. A population of people that's having fertility issues on both sides. You think that's going to be good for your country? Oh yeah, see, I'm going to hit you below the belt with these facts tonight. Because see, all that black on black crime stuff, this is your problem right here, Colt Gray. But we're going to let it continue.
Very serious threat, implied or not. So the images of guns, they do this to stir the feelings. They want to make people afraid to.
Salute to the good sister, Mrs. L, for the cash out. Thank you very much, my good sister.
Go to school. And once that post hits the internet, it is spread to thousands upon thousands of accounts. So that fear is not isolated. You could get up to 5 years in prison for this, even as a juvenile.
Police say this is a good time for families to talk with children about the risk of making these kind of threats because they will be held accountable. And experts are sounding the alarm about the impact the violence.
Now let me pause right here because see, I'm going to go somewhere else with this. everybody is ranting and raving about, oh, Kamami was a prosecutor and all of this. Well, Kamami, are you ready to go lock up the white parents of these kids that got their kids making these threats? Or that's doing that? Okay, whether they got them doing it or not, they're allowing them to do it because, hey, in their culture, it allows them to run around with mental illnesses, okay, that are not checked or treated. And everybody know right on up to the FBI, and you do nothing about it until blood is spilled, innocent blood. So, Kamami, where's your, why aren't you addressing that? You notice you don't ever talk about nothing like that, too? These white mass shootings that go on, her or Jim Crow Joe Biden, they don't really address it. Well, I'll take that back. Jim Crow Joe, he will come out and say a little something, depending on how bad it is. But, you know, she ain't never touching nothing like that. Huh? So since the top cop there wants to lock everybody up, why don't you start with these little demonic hellspawn right here? Because see, finding the Miami and everybody else is going after Trump, throwing RICO charges on everybody. Why don't you throw some RICO charges on all these different white supremacist groups that's out here? Why don't you throw some RICO charges on these parents that sit up there and spew this white supremacist rhetoric to their kids and they radicalize them? Why don't you throw RICO charges on all these bastards that's on 4chan and 8chan and Gab and Reddit and whoever you else want to name, okay, the little white supremacist cesspools that the message boards they're on. Why don't you start handing out some RICO charges on that? See, maybe if you started doing that, maybe you could just prevent some of this. Because see, when you put some stern consequences in place for these types of actions, people think twice before they go and crash out and do it. I'm just saying, just some suggestions. It's your people they targeting first, though. Let's let it continue.
Could have on students' mental health. Professionals say everyone reacts to trauma differently. Seeing violence at such a young age, the fallout can develop in the weeks and months that follow. So let them know it's okay to express how they feel. Be ready to bring in other resources if they exhibit more extreme signs of struggling.
If you start to see acute symptoms where they don't seem to be functioning or they can't return to school without feeling incredibly panicked, or their sleep is off, or their appetite is off, or they're extremely irritable, then you may need to find them professional help and support.
Let me go ahead and chime on this, and let me give a suggestion to my community, okay? Because that's what I'm most concerned about. Let me give a suggestion to my community. Black fathers, and see, this is why we need complete, intact black families. So when something like this happens, it's not just one parent, it's two parents there to navigate this. Let me tell you what I would do if, heaven forbid, I had a child and they survived a mass shooting at one of the schools, okay, at their school. First and foremost, I'm the type of parent, if I was one, that, hey, I ain't that public school system or public food system, I call it now. It would be private school or home school, but let's just say that's what I did, right? And my child was blessed enough to survive that. Guess what? You're not going back to that school. You're not going back to that school. And see, I'm going to tell you, even before it gets to the mass shooting part, this is why if you're a parent today, you need to have daily debriefings with your child and let it be known. This should be a tradition in every family because it was in mine, okay? I'm just telling you what was done in my family, and you take it or leave it if you find this to be helpful information. Your child should get accustomed to, when they get in, tell you everything that happened at school that looked suspicious, especially, and I'm going to say it without sugarcoating it, suspicious about their little goofy, you know what I'm saying, male demon classmates. You need to know about that because, see, I'm the type of father, if I was a father, I would be the type of father where I would say, oh, okay, I'm talking to my son and my daughter, and they're telling me about little Billy coming to school with trench coats and 100-degree weather, and, you know, he making little goofy threads. The teacher done picked up, he's scribbling drawings of murder in the class or something like that. I'm like, oh, okay, we ain't finna wait for this to happen. Come on, we finna get you in another school. I'm taking my kids out before it happens. You damn right. That's what a father is supposed to do. You understand? That's what a father, and little sisters, I get it. Everybody's situation isn't perfect, but you need to be talking to your kids. And if they come home telling you, hey, little Connor comes to school, boy, he's singing songs about murdering all of us and, you know, cursing the teacher out, saying he hate everybody. Hey, for real? How long this been going on? Oh, okay, yeah, check this out. Make a phone call. Hey, my kid ain't coming back to school today. Fact of business, let me come on down there and get them records. You know what I'm saying? And we through with that. I would not wait for the shit to jump off. You understand? But see, everything that I'm saying today, unfortunately, there's a lot of people that they're not the type of involved parent like that they give a damn. They want to sit there and wait till it happens. Your child should always be talking to you about what the fuck going on at school. So if they coming home telling you about weird shit that they see, hey man, you better listen. If you love your child, you better listen. I mean, I'm like this. If you give me advance warning on something, I'm not gonna sit there and wait till it go down before I make a move, man. You hear me? Let me just go ahead and say it right now. If you the type of parent that's listening to this and your greatest concern is just getting your kid out your hair for 8 hours so that you can run around and go to the club, this, that, the third, if you ain't never trying to really be involved with your kid, okay, you could lose your child. Be preemptive. Take action before it happens. Because see, chances are, even if you involved enough to go down to these community meetings or PTA meetings, you see they don't really care about punishing their own. So no matter what you say to them, they're going to wait until little Connor and Tiffany decide to come in there and air the place out, knowing that they're the most likely group of kids that's going to do that. So what I'm saying to the common sense parents that's listening to me, your child is telling you that some weird shit is going on, hey man, you might need to go ahead and snatch them up out of there. Be like, no, we gonna get you somewhere else. Fact of business, to make sure you don't fall behind, I'll just go ahead and be like, look, we're gonna need, we're gonna do some homeschooling for a minute till we go ahead and pull these records out. You take these classes online or what have you, and then, just go ahead and switch them into another school. Don't sit there and wait for this. Because see, these people are not gonna change. They don't. This is one of the greatest drawbacks about your community, white America. You've touted this image of yourself that is not true, as if all the crime is done by everybody except you. Huh? That's what you do. You see how it's working out. The most likely group to shoot at the cops are your people. But yet they want to gaffle about brother Tyreek Hill because he's driving a McLaren and living his best life as a black man playing a sport, okay, that most of them wouldn't even qualify for and couldn't even do well in a little league as kids, okay? And that's the white adjacent community because most of them was little taco terrorists, all right? So I'm just saying, man, be a proactive parent, be a preemptive parent. It could save your child's life. That's if you care about your kids, okay? And if you don't, man, I just pray the Most High. If some child is in a situation like what I just said where their parents don't give a damn about them, I pray the Most High send somebody to put in that child's life to look out for their welfare and their well-being, because damn it, that's something I don't respect. Any parent that's not taking care of their kids out here in today's society with all it's more dangerous than ever due to the irresponsibility of the people that are the so-called powers that be that are supposed to be public servants today. So that's my information to my people on that. We're going to let it continue.
The U.S. Surgeon General cites a recent study that found that 51% of 14 to 17-year-olds in the United States worry about school shootings. So even if your child wasn't directly impacted by the shooting in Barrow County, it can still prompt concerns about if it could happen to them. First responders say a newly installed alarm system helps protect students from the alleged shooter. Panic buttons made by the Atlanta-based Centegix instantly alerted police and the rest of the school that something was terribly wrong. The teachers wear the buttons around their necks with their IDs. Districts like Cobb and Douglas counties have had the technology for years, but Barrow just implemented it within the last week.
An educator that is wearing one of these, recognizing that there's a critical situation, in this case an active assailant situation, is able to create really kind of that silent panic alert.
Panic alarm system that they just installed definitely save lives. In these situations, these critical incidents, seconds count.
According to
let me pause it right here because see, I have something else that might be helpful for my community, because that's what I'm most concerned about. Since these little scooter shooters are running around down here, like my Lieutenant Tim Chan in the chat said, scooter the shooters shows all kinds of signs that they ignore until they actually start spilling blood. But see, let me go ahead and talk to my community for a minute. If you're a black child, listen to this, and if you're a parent, listen to this. You might want to have this conversation with your child if you hadn't already, because I know most of my audience, y'all probably already got this covered. But just in case you never thought of this, I'm gonna give you something that might help save lives in a situation. If you got children in public school, I don't care what grade, age, or range they are, okay? You need to tell your kids today, because most of today, kids got smartphones, they take them to school, what have you. You need to tell them, hey, whoever your closest friend circle is of black kids, y'all need to have discussed, hey, look, if one of these little goofy white supremacist kids come to school and start trying to air out the place, you need to have already discussed, okay, look, first thing I would tell my child to do is get the hell out of that building. The safest way you can. Don't you all that go huddle up in the corner. Nope. Get the fuck out the building. Because it can be confirmed later on after you out of harm's way that you are right. You don't stay in no kill box area. Huh? You don't stay in no kill box. You get out of that situation and get to safety. Get as far away from that damn school as you can. That would be my information. But see, you need to tell them that, hey, get together with their friends, communicate with each other by their cell phone. Be like, look, this is our plan to get here or there. You know what I'm saying? If we can't neutralize the threat, we got to get away from the threat, okay? So that's my information. Have that discussion with your kids, man, because we see what we're dealing with. And see, you will be an irresponsible parent if you didn't today. And make sure, because see, look, let's go here. I know the conversation I'm talking about being that I'm a Gen X, so I get it. We were all kids once, so if your parent try to sit you down, talk to you about that, you might not take it serious, but you need to let your kids know that you love them and you want them to always come home to you safe. So you let them know that this is a serious discussion. I need you to take this seriously. So just in case it happens to you, we've already gone over what you're supposed to do, okay? Because you let them know that they're your kids and they're your primary concern, okay? So hopefully, you know what I'm saying, you going over things with them and teaching them, hey, look, if this happens in your school, this is what you do, okay? Don't try to be no hero. Don't try to, you know what I'm saying, sit there. If these silly fools are talking about, everybody stay in this one area. No. The goal should be to evacuate and get out of that motherfucker. Because, see, what you got to understand, and I hate to go here, but I got to be realistic. What you got to understand is, boy, I really don't want to say this. Let me see how I can say this. Suppose, heaven forbid, there's a situation where there's more than one of these deranged domestic terrorists involved in it, huh? Because so far we just seen one. But if they ever decide to coordinate and pull that off, do you understand how much danger you would be in? That's about as far as I can really go on YouTube about that, but I think y'all get what I'm saying. So my suggestion would be, hey, listen, got your kids there. Like I said, you had that meeting with who your closest friends are. Y'all communicate by smartphone and be like, look, yo, that fool is over there on this end of the school. We all need to be going this way. Then if you see something on the other end, be like, nah, bro, we need to go and take that alternate route that we talked about to get up out of here. Okay? That's how you got to think now with this stuff. And it's not fair because no child should ever have to think about none of the things that I'm talking about. Children deserve to have a childhood, man. You know what I'm saying? They do that. That's one thing that I really, and I mean this. When I say this, if you listening, man, and you like, you know, a child that's in school right now, your brother over here, I actually give a damn about y'all. Because one of the things that I hate for a lot of children today, y'all not really getting to have a childhood like you should. And that's not fair, man. It's not. I hate that it's that way. Because those like myself, we actually did get to have a childhood with some type of normalcy. Was everything perfect back when we were growing up? No. But man, most parts down here, we didn't have to deal with none of this stuff, okay? The only thing that we mostly had to deal with down here in our schools would be like the occasional idiot that go pull the damn fire alarm, or every now and again some fool would call in a bomb threat, you know what I'm saying? And thank goodness it was never a serious thing, never happened. But that was about it. As far as any school shootings or nothing like that, nah, man. The most outrageous thing that would happen at the school was some fights, all right, hand to hand. That's mostly what we dealt with. Today, these kids, man, y'all, boy. And see, I say this with all compassion. Today, unfortunately, school for a lot of these children that live in these areas where this happens on a regular basis, because this is rare for it to happen in Georgia, honestly. But the kids that are in these areas where this could happen at any time, they got the same type of PTSD that those of us who are combat vets would have. To be honest with you, I mean, what's the difference? They're going into what could be a war zone, which is supposed to be a place of learning, a place where they're, you know, developing in their formative years and having positive social experiences and you know, just trying to decide which path they're going to take in life. They shouldn't have to go to school and worry about, hey, is the day-to-day that little Connor or Tiffany gonna lose it? Because see, I'm gonna say this, now that I'm going here, you always talking about black folks, huh? White America, those of you that are white supremacists, you always talking about us. Well, let me go ahead and throw something out for you. And this might offend some people. I offend some people in this chat room, but I gotta say it. Until you can civilize your little mutant domestic terrorists, they shouldn't be around other normal kids. They shouldn't. I'm gonna be honest with you. This is where segregation will probably help us out. Hey man, let them go over there where they own little section at. Hey, get away from my community. Get away from my. I said it. I meant it. Because I'm tired of seeing our people have to be the victims of what they got going on in their community. We got enough problems of our own to deal with, man. So look, to be honest with you, if I was in charge and I kept seeing that, man, and look, I like, all right, cool, we're gonna solve this problem. You go over here to this school and leave our kids over here, okay? As long as we got funding to keep our thing running, nope. Let's just go ahead and solve this problem. And I would begin keeping data on how often that happened over there versus how often it would happen over here where the black kids is going to school and other kids or communities that don't want to have nothing to do with that, okay? That's where I would go with it. Let's let it continue.
Barrow County's fire department, that first panic alert came at 10:22 Wednesday morning. Their first crew was on scene by 10:30 and inside the school by 10:34.
So now, that's the initial coverage there that they was talking about regarding this little demon here on the screen, with his little soft ass, and his father failed him. But see, when you fail as a father, and I'm saying this to all communities, when you fail as a father, the rest of the country might have to deal with your failure, huh? There's no reason this boy hair should be like this. Because see, look, like I said, yes, okay, if he wanted to wear his hair like this, shouldn't be a problem. But in schools where kids are going to be kids, they're going to tease and pick on it. That's happened through every generation. That's nothing new right there. The only thing new is the advent of the internet, how fast things can fly around with memes. Because I'm like this, okay? Let me be somewhat compassionate and throw a suggestion out here to white America. Y'all are so good at making memes to disparage things that happen to black people, like you was with the George Floyd memes and all of that, under the knee and all of that stuff, and got him up there like Sebastian the Crab. I seen all that demonic bullshit. Okay, well, let's go here. Let me give you a suggestion. Instead of you directing your vitriol at us, most of y'all don't even live around black folks like that. But instead of you directing that vitriol and creativity at us, how about you become the meme king and start picking on the people back at school? See, let me go give you an alternative path here. Okay, whether it's the Colt Grays or what's the little dude, man? The little crazy bastard who came from Wells there. What's the little dude that had the manifesto? This was so long ago. Elliot Rodgers, yeah. What if the Elliot Rodgers and Colt Grays said, okay, y'all gonna roast me and pick on me about my hair? Start making memes of your classmates and spreading that around and make it go viral. You start hitting back in ways where you're not killing innocent people, huh? Because, I mean, if you're gonna go to school like this in this day and age, bro, they gonna pick on you. And look, I can tell by looking at his little demonic porcelain face that this boy is probably done did all kinds of drugs, okay? Because that's the first thing that they want to rely on is when they start having problems, instead of being taught to solve those issues. Oh, I got to get drunk. I got to get high. I can tell, man. I know what I'm looking at. I know what I'm looking at, all right? Especially down here in Georgia, too. Yeah, I know. Huh? So I'm just saying, man, and see, the other thing, white America, you fathers, you need to start teaching your kids, especially them boys, man, that everything will be handed to you on a silver platter. See, watch this. This is why I spoke on physical fitness and exercise earlier, okay? Because we got some more we're going to analyze. How about you teach your boy that's, okay, son, they're picking on you because maybe it's your appearance. Let's get this hair taken care of first, okay? Then we're going to get you on a resume that changes your physique, okay? So hear what I'm saying. Because, see, I know a lot of you white guys and white folks in general, you think that everything is supposed to be handed to you on a silver platter because you feel a little bad. You get rewarded for it for being mediocre. However, in life, it doesn't work that way, okay? So how about you be the type of father that say, okay, son, we're going to work on changing your image to the point now that you start attracting little white girls and you make them jealous. Get the boy physique together, man. Hey, see what kind of athletic talent you have, something, okay? Make a change and then be like, yeah, now you got to hate up. Step your game up, man. Step your weight up, man. I mean, instead of just sitting there, oh my God, my life is so hard. They're picking on me. What am I gonna do? See, even if I didn't, and I honestly believe this, even if I didn't have the type of family that I had, I was just a little ornery bastard, man. You understand me? I was too mean to allow you to say something about me that would hurt me so bad that I'm just, oh my God, my world is ending. Oh no. I'm like, game on, motherfucker. I'm glad you went there with me. Shit, cause boy, you started with me, boy. Once I get to having fun doing something, when I was a kid, now you got my attention. I tell people even to this day, the worst thing in the world for you to do is to make my daily itinerary where I have to focus on you. Because if I have to focus on you, I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to enjoy it. You might not, but I will, okay? So my point is this. Fathers, start teaching your sons to solve problems in life in more constructive ways. Huh? Sometimes things start with you, man. Personal development, self-development, self-improvement, okay? Then I'm going to take it out on the rest of the world because everybody's not kissing my little porcelain ass. No. If you a boy, you're going to have to grow up to be a man, okay? Well, today, I got to be honest, they can grow up to be toaster ovens and, little pink fairies with wings and all of the kind of silliness. They basically, go the porterized route. But if you're going to grow up and be a normal, mentally healthy little boy, okay, you're going to grow up to be a man, all right? So start training your children to do that. But see, we're not done yet. We got some more coverage to analyze here, family. Coming back to this too, briefly. Coming back to this. Let me talk to black folks because I almost forgot about this. Coming back to this, I touched on it earlier when I showed this to you, but I wanted to put this back up and remind you of something. We got to get to the point as a community nationwide. I don't care whether you FBA or non-FBA. We got to get to the point as a community nationwide. When they do stuff like this to us, all of us across the country need to be loud and demanding punishment for this. You understand? We have to. We can't let these people disparage us and do this. You think about the grieving family here of this young man, and they put him up there as if he was the one responsible for that. Nah, man, you can't let that slide, bruh. Ain't no apologies for that. That wasn't no damn mistake. That was some white supremacist working for WSB TV. It might have came from the top for all I know. But my point is this. We got to get to the point as a community where we don't tolerate this type of disrespect. Again, I've said it before. We got to start taking a page from the Jewish community where they say never again. I will give them props on that. Good, bad, right or wrong. They'll be like, nope, You're not gonna demonize us in the media or nowhere else. So we all coming at you as a community nationwide. We have to get to that point, family, because this was disgusting. It was unacceptable, and there must be some type of punishment for it. Okay, there must be. All right. And when I say as a community, let me go here. I'm not just talking about the everyday brother or sister. You punk ass celebrities. You are part of the community because you want us to patronize whatever products you come out with, movies, sports, albums, whatever, concerts. You want us to support you. Then when something like this happens, you need to take a stand. Because see, let me talk to you punk ass celebrities, the black ones, okay? Let me talk to you for a minute. You so worried about, and I've heard this excuse, well, they can't say nothing. They got to protect their bag, this, that, the third. Okay. Have you ever thought that if you stopped being such fucking cowards and stood together and then said, hey, look, as a group, athletes, actors, entertainers, no, we going to speak about this in unison. What you going to do, get rid of all of us? You ever thought about that? If you stood together and was on code and said, nah, for example, before we move on, when they all came at Kyrie Irving, every black athlete, I don't care if it was NBA, NFL, water polo, I don't give a fuck what it is. If you was a black athlete in America, you supposed to stood by that brother like, nope, I'll be damned if you gonna do this to this brother over something he tweeted without even any type of personal expression behind it. No. Now the community had his back, but what I'm calling out is this punk ass black celebrity class. It's just like you run around and you can be so vocal about promoting whatever product you got. You don't have to start pulling your weight going forward about things like this. And I'm adamant about that. I'm one of the people that I am not cutting them a pass on that because, like I said, you're part of the community when you want people to spend money with you, but you sit back and watch tragedy and be quiet? Hell no. So anyway, we're going to further analyze this. I just want to put that message on your hearts.
His charges are directly connected with the actions of his son and allowing him to possess a weapon.
A teen and his father are both behind bars after the country's latest school shooting left 2 students and 2 teachers dead. It happened about an hour outside of Atlanta in Winder, Georgia. The 14-year-old alleged shooter made his first appearance in court, accused of using an assault rifle to target his classmates and teachers. We have the latest information from police reports, court records, and witnesses. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Elizabeth Milner, in for Jesse Weber. 14-year-old Colt Gray appeared in court in person on Friday to hear the charges against him, 4 counts of felony murder.
If you have any questions about these charges, then I would urge you to discuss those with your attorney. I would invite you, Mr. Harmon, to inform the court as to whether there's a request for bond at this time.
At this time, Your Honor, there is not a request for bond. We will file the appropriate motions if that becomes necessary.
Now, let me go ahead and pause it right here. When they got you confirmed that you've killed people, you shouldn't get no damn bond. No, your little punk ass is supposed to stay locked up until the trial. That needs to be mandatory legislation across the board. It really should. There should be no discussion about, no, what we're going to put you back out into the community for. No, you don't get no bond. No. You are unfit and unsafe to be around normal functioning society. Your ass belong under a damn prison if you ask me until your trial start. Huh? I'm just saying. So that's one of the things that caught me when I saw this right here. But see, we got some more to analyze about this. Let it continue.
All right. An indictment by the grand jury for most felony offenses or accusations. Well, you have the right to receive an indictment for these offenses. And I assume Mr. Brad Smith is here on behalf of the DA's office, or he is our district attorney, and he's accompanied by Ms. Patricia Brooks, who is his chief assistant.
To answer the good sister Mrs. L's question, that's a good question that she asked. She asked the question, she said, are the use of the words alleged and suspected mandatory in reporting or are a white supremacist wording tactic? Well, see what they do, they go off that you presume innocent until proven guilty thing. So that's what that's all about. But it is also one of their tactics that they will use even after a conviction. I've seen that, okay? Where they try to like avoid just saying that the person in their community actually did that. So that's what they do with that. And I know what you mean, because it's like, okay, if we know that you did it, what we talking about alleged for? But what they do is in the courtroom, until there's a conviction, you still presume innocent until proven guilty, okay? And the other reason why you hear a lot of people saying alleged, people don't want to get hit with lawsuits and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, there's the answer. That was a great question though, sister. Let's get back to it.
A preliminary hearing, you'll have the right also to a preliminary hearing, unless you make a bond, which of course at this point there's no bond being requested, or unless you waive such a hearing. You have the right to a speedy and public trial by a judge or a jury. You have the right to confront and cross-examine all witnesses. You have the right to call witnesses on your own behalf and testify in your own defense if you so choose. As you sit here in this courtroom today, under the
I'm going to put y'all up on something because, you know, over here on this channel, I always teach y'all to study body language and pay attention to the tonality of people when they speak, especially in this community. Now, I want y'all to notice something here. Pay attention to this judge. As this camera zooms in, I want you to look at his face and pay attention to the tonality of his voice and his mannerisms. He's talking as if he's in pain just to say this. You understand me? Because we all saw the judge in the Kyle Rittenhouse trial. Oh boy, I've never seen that in the history of my existence. I've never read about that where a judge acts as a defense attorney for somebody that's being put on trial, huh? I want you to listen to this judge and watch him, though. He looks like he's almost moved to tears to even be reading out what he's about to say here. You just study this for yourselves. Let's let it continue.
Law, you are presumed innocent. Your refusal to testify at any point in any proceeding will not be used against you in determining whether you are guilty or not guilty.
Look at the look on his face, man. He can barely bring himself to do his damn job. Looking all depressed and down and that. No, man. See, I guarantee you, if this was a black person in this courtroom, especially down here in Georgia, that didn't even kill nobody. Oh, boy, he would have high spirits then, boy. Oh, trust me. See, these good old boys. And see, this is another reason why you heard me say what I said when I was talking about our brother Tyreek Hill down here. Because, see, those of us in the South, we have a great understanding of how that good old boy system work across the nation. So I'm going to say it again. If you're dealing with them folks out there, do not be fighting shit on the side of the road. It's not about bowing down to them. It's about, okay, let me just go ahead and take whatever ticket they're going to give me. I'll fight the shit in court. As long as you're not physically harming me or whatever, don't be trying to antagonize them. Do what you got to do to get them people out your damn face and make it back home to your family. Okay? That's what I do. All right? Now if they're trying to just come up and assault you or kill you, that's a whole nother situation. Ain't nobody gonna sit there and just let you take your life like that. But I'm saying, as far as it depends upon you, for situations like that, man, remember, you're a prisoner of war in that situation. You outgunned, outmanned, what have you. So do what you got to do to make it back home to your family. But see, dealing with this situation right here, you really focus in on his face. Look how downtrodden he is about that. And I know what some of the white supremacists are going to say, well, he's sad that it happened. No, he's not. No, he's not. That's not what this is. This man is sitting here because there's no niggers to blame for this. He's right in front of you, and you actually got to punish, key word, punish a white child. That's what it is. Let's let it continue.
Counsel, let me just inquire as to whether there are any other items that the court should address before we conclude this preliminary hearing.
No, Your Honor.
Well, I do have one piece of information to convey to the court. There was a development yesterday afternoon that makes it necessary for our office to have alternate counsel appointed, and arrangements have already been made in that regard. I've already explained that to Mr. Gray, and alternate counsel will be appointed by the end of the day today.
All right. Thank you very much, Ms. Donna C. Graves. All right. Then with that, this hearing is concluded, and you may escort this defendant out.
After a brief recess, the judge brought Colt back into the courtroom to clarify some things.
All right, Mr. Gray, we visited a moment ago. I just need to correct a couple of things on the record. I correctly told you the maximum penalty for the crimes for which you are charged. That's correct, except for the fact that you are under 18 years old. So I wanted to inform you and make it clear to you that the penalty for the crimes for which you are charged does not include death. It includes life without the possibility of parole or life with the possibility of parole.
Well, let's talk about that, old judge. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about this America, especially you in the white community. Or I'm going to ask a question that most people making commentary on this probably never ask or are too afraid to ask. I'm going to ask it over here tonight, though, damn it. Oh, yes, I am. White America, why not have capital punishment for those, and hear what I say, you white supremacists that actually value those 14 words? Would you not consider someone diminishing your numbers on purpose in your community a traitor to your race? Is that not considered a traitor? Why would you not want capital punishment for somebody that did what he did? Visit to your community. Why not? It's just a question I'm asking. If you really gonna be about them 14 words of y'all, hey, you should be like, nope, he's tainted. We got to get him out of here. He's making it harder for us to survive as a white race. Why not? Just a question. I don't know if y'all heard anybody ask that, but I'm going to ask it over here, man. Let's let it continue.
I also wanted to inform you that the court has set December 4th at 8:30 a.m. For your preliminary hearing. And that is, of course, subject to change as you secure new counsel later today and so forth. Is there anything else that needs to be addressed that anyone can think of?
Salute to Sylvan Tahuti for the cash out. Thank you very much, brother.
No, Your Honor. No, Your Honor.
All right. So with that, you may escort Mr. Colt Gray back out. Thank you.
A few minutes later, Colin Gray, Colt's father, also appeared in court. He seemed emotional and rocked back and forth in his seat as the judge read the charges and the penalty he could face if he's convicted.
I'm first going to ask you just a few questions, and then I'm going to advise you of your rights and also let you know about a preliminary hearing that's been scheduled for you. Why don't you just state your name, please? All right, pull the microphone down, please. There you go. All right, and how old are you, Mr. Gray?
54.
And are you able to read and write and understand the English language without any difficulty?
Yes, sir.
How far did you go in school?
11th grade GED.
Okay. All right, so the following aren't questions that I'm going to ask. I'm just informing you of some things. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you at further hearings or at a trial on the charges that you're facing.
Salute to the good brother Kia Edwards for the cash out. Thank you very much, my brother. But family, I want to pause it briefly and ask this question also. Because you heard the judge ask him, if he could read and write. He said yes, okay. And he asked him, how far did you make it in school? Well, white America, I got a question now because, see, we need to do some research on this, and we shouldn't leave it up to them. We should do our own research. If it's not already out there, we need to do some research and see what's the correlation between those of you that don't finish school and these school shootings and these other crimes that you're most well known on the FBI statistic crime stats. We need to do some, cross-referencing with, okay, does this have anything to do with this? Because, you all tell us that you have these high IQs. He said that he dropped out in the 11th grade, basically. Okay, so he has an 11th grade education. I need to see, what's some information on that. I'm going to go digging for that information. If it's not out there, and we need to start, putting this together because, see, you're a danger and a threat to the community. You're not going to do something about it. Well, our people are going to look at the information, see what we need to do to protect ourselves, okay? We actually value the lives of our children over here in our community. We do, okay? The greater majority of Black America, notwithstanding the degenerate segment of our society that I treat just like the white supremacists. Oh, yes, I treat them just the same, all right? But see, that's some information that needs to be studied because, see, this is a repeat pattern over and over and over again. See, it would be one thing if it was just your community that suffered every time, but see, that's not always the case because we'll get the occasional Peyton Gendron that pulled what he did up there in Buffalo, New York, and go and target Black folks. So that's just something we got to start studying this, man. They always looking at us, man. We need to start taking a look at that piece of information. Let's let it continue.
For this hearing, you're not going to be questioned about facts and circumstances surrounding your charges. You are currently charged with, and you'll be provided with copies of the warrants if you don't already have them. You're currently charged with 2 counts of felony murder in the second degree. You're charged with 4 counts of felony involuntary manslaughter. You're charged with 8 counts of felony cruelty to children in the second degree. Now, for these offenses, for the felony murder counts in the second degree, felony murder in the second degree, the maximum penalty for each count is up to 30 years imprisonment. For felony involuntary manslaughter, of course, again, there are 4 counts. The maximum penalty for each of those offenses is 10 years imprisonment. For the 8 felony cruelty to children counts, the maximum penalty under the law for each of those 8 counts is 10 years imprisonment. For a maximum total possible penalty for the charges that you currently are facing of 180 years imprisonment.
Attorney sitting in as counsel for Colin Gray also did not seek bond on Friday, opting to have his future court-appointed counsel file a motion at a later date if they want. For now, he's scheduled to be back in court in December. I want to thank Morgan & Morgan for sponsoring today's Law and Crime YouTube Takeover. The stories we cover here on Sidebar and Law and Crime are very tough, and it shows that the world is an unpredictable and at times very scary place. So if you're ever hurt, it can be scary and confusing, especially if you don't know where to turn. But Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm, can help. This is a team with more than 1,000 attorneys you should want in your corner, and there's a reason they're America's largest injury law firm. They win a lot. In the past few months, they've secured multiple multi-million-dollar verdicts that were actually considerably higher than the highest insurance offer. And we're all on our phones so often that Morgan & Morgan makes this whole process so easy. You don't even have to leave your couch. From submitting your claim to uploading documents to signing contracts, it can all be done from your phone in 8 clicks or less. So if you're ever injured, you can start by easily submitting a claim at forthepeople.com/YouTube Takeover. So here's what we know so far about what happened on Wednesday, September 4th. Witnesses say the shooter left his...
Now, I want y'all to pay attention to this, and I left that in there because some of you might be interested in that particular information. And if you're like me, the one thing that I do believe in is litigation when necessary, okay? So hopefully y'all caught that information, but I want you to pay attention to where they're about to go into now, because now we're about to do a deep dive into his background. As a lot of you might not have heard what I'm about to play for you here. Oh yeah, I told you, we're thorough with it over here. Here's another picture of him, and as you see, this is a younger picture. He's looking a little chunky, and again, I'm looking at his father with this. Come on, man. I mean, you can't do this when you're raising a boy. Got that little hairstyle and everything. See, basically, if you're a father, your job, especially when your child starts to get of age like this, you need to be helping them realize what personal achievement is and setting goals and reaching those goals, conquering obstacles, because that raises their self-esteem. When your self-esteem is high, you can't be easily rattled that way where somebody can get you to crash out and start harming people, okay? So that's very important for a father to do. And I'm not saying that mothers are not important, but you just cannot do the job of a man because you've never lived a day as a little boy or a man, okay? No disrespect. I know there's some mothers out there that your situations will have you where you are raising your child by yourself, but you got to have them around some type of masculine figures, because it's going to come a point where you're not going to be able to help that young boy transition into manhood. That's not a slight on you. I'm picking on you. That's just a fact of life, okay? Okay, and I'm talking about my community because, see, in their community, like you said, you know, put it like this. Like I said at the beginning of the broadcast, go check out the latest YouTube short I dropped with that goofy wench right there, the wench of Crafton, talking about how she want to get her zaddy or whatever. She's not looking at what's in their community, though. She's not. Does she think the grass is green on the other side of the fence? Well, we examine it here tonight that it's not. The grass is always green on the other side of the fence. Because see, this situation right here, if his parents was on their job, chances are it could have been avoided. Now, is that a total guarantee? No, but see, it starts at home. It starts at home. I don't care what nobody say. It starts at home. Now, are there situations where you do everything right as a parent? Your child grew up to be a polar opposite of what you train them? Sure, there are. But for the most part, if you look at the home front and it's not a place of healthy development for that family, then you get here, a Colt Gray. So I want y'all to pay attention to where they're about to go as far as what went into him getting to where he's at. A lot of y'all might not have heard this information, but you're going to hear it here tonight. Let's get back to it.
Algebra class around 10 a.m. and came back to the classroom with an assault rifle his father reportedly gave him for Christmas. When he couldn't get back into his math class, witnesses say the alleged shooter went to the classroom next door. That's when he allegedly opened fire, killing Mason Skirmerhorn and Christian Angelo, both 14 years old, and teachers Richard Aspinwall and Christina Urami. School had only been back in session for about a month. 9 other people, including 8 students, were injured in the shooting and taken to a hospital. Fortunately, all 9 are expected to be released and make a full recovery. 2 school resource officers confronted Gray, according to Barrow County Sheriff Judd Smith, and he surrendered, putting the gun on the ground. After he was read his rights, he reportedly made a chilling statement. "I did it." Arrest warrants for the alleged shooter charge him with 4 counts of felony murder. For now, he's being held at a youth detention center, but he'll be tried as an adult. According to authorities, Wednesday was actually only the shooter's second day at Appalachia High. He was a transfer student who had only come to the school for part of the day on Tuesday. Sheriff Judd Smith told CNN that Gray had left class on his first day to visit the counselor's office because he was having anxiety.
Now, how many of you knew that about the situation here? Because it's been some time past since it happened. How many of you knew that about that particular situation? It was a transfer student. That was only his second day at that school. So whatever issues he had to follow him from the other school. And it proves true what I was saying earlier about his self-esteem. And you saw how he was looking there with his appearance. But what could happen to you over the course of 2 days that make you want to come back and shoot up the school? Really? See, again, I got to go back to the fatherhood issue. Larry Elder, where you had to talk to the white men in white America about fatherhood in white America, huh? Well, what's going on with the fatherhood over there, Larry? Somebody please fetch Chicken McNugget Mutant here, Larry Elder, and get him to carry his little Oompa Loompa looking ass over there to white America and talk to them about fatherlessness in white America and bad fatherhood. We need you, Larry Elder. Now's the time, because you always telling us about that. I need you to go over there to the white America and have that conversation with them. Because, see, family, he was only there 2 days. 2 days. And then he's so traumatized and he's going to the counselor, talking about he's having anxiety. So an involved parent would, hey, if you know your kid got some issues, man, you need to make everybody aware of that. And then if you realize it, because you know your child, okay? If you realize that you see him, you see he's off, hey, man, don't put him in public school. You need to homeschool him. Nah, you take responsibility for what you brought into the world. That is a you problem. Get him the proper help he needs. He should not be around other children until you take care of them issues that he got. That's where I'm going with it. But see, I just wanted, I wanted to share that with you. And y'all gonna learn some more things you might not have known here tonight. Let's let it continue.
Next day, he was only in class for about 30 minutes before the attack. Heartbreaking text messages have been posted on social media showing conversations between students inside the building and panicked friends and family outside. Aaron Clark posted a text thread showing the messages. "School shooting right now. I'm scared. Please, I'm not joking." A response, "Where are you?" Class, someone's dead. Just 1 day after the shooting, 54-year-old Colin Gray was arrested in connection with the shooting. As you heard, he's charged with 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter, 2 counts of second-degree murder, and 8 counts of cruelty to children. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation says a brand new emergency alert system saved lives during the shooting. The new technology was just installed last week. Several teachers were also able to press buttons on badges to call for help and put the school on a hard lockdown.
Please lift up our community. Please keep these children, these teachers. We call them teachers, but I call them heroes. We met with them today. Emotions are very high, obviously, but we told them that we love them. We love our teachers and what they do, and we're very happy at the fact that they stood in the gap between evil to protect their children, and we want to include them in the lives that were saved as well yesterday. We're heartbroken. A young person brought a gun into a school, committed an evil act, and he took lives, and he injured many other people, not only physically but mentally. But I'm proud of Barrow County. I'm proud of our superintendent. I'm proud of these teachers. I'm proud of these schools, and I'm proud of where I live. And we'll get past this. If you see behind me, up here on the hill, we got a vigil going on at our flagpole. I welcome you to go see those kids and those young people that are hurting.
We want to talk about the victims in the shooting. 14-year-old Mason Skirmerhorn had recently started at the high school. His mother says he was living with autism and could be easily spooked. There were searches for Mason and all the chaos on the day of the shooting, with his family hopeful that he was hiding somewhere. But they soon learned he was actually one of the victims. A family friend told the New York Times he really enjoyed life. He always had an upbeat attitude about everything. 14-year-old Christian Angelo was also killed. His sister wrote on a GoFundMe page for funeral expenses, "He was loved by so many. His loss was so sudden and unexpected. We are truly heartbroken. He really didn't deserve this." The two teachers who lost their lives were both math instructors. 39-year-old Richard Aspinwall was also the high school football team's defense coordinator. The husband and father of two little girls is being remembered as someone who is kind-hearted and hardworking. 53-year-old Christian Arami, an algebra teacher, also died from gunshot wounds. The native of Romania was active in the Romanian community and worked as a dance instructor. She was actually celebrating her birthday on the day of the shooting. A friend told CNN she decided to bake a cake and bring pizza to her class the day she died so she could celebrate her birthday with her kids. GoFundMe pages have been set up for each victim's families. Several of the surviving victims have also been identified. Taylor Jones was life-flighted to Grady Memorial Hospital, a level 1 trauma center in Atlanta. She's listed as being in stable condition. Her family didn't say exactly what her injuries were, but said she will have to undergo more surgeries and physical therapy. David Phoenix was another math teacher in part of the building where Gray allegedly opened fire. Witnesses say when they heard loud banging sounds, Phoenix went to open the classroom door, and that's when he was shot. Another teacher was able to scramble to the door and shut it. Phoenix's daughter wrote on Facebook that when David woke up from surgery on Wednesday, he immediately wanted to know if everyone else was okay. He will also need additional surgeries, but is expected to recover. So what exactly was the motive behind such a destructive and heinous act of violence?
Now let's pause it right here, because see, I let that go on so that you can hear in link there the description of his victims, and like most of us were saying, it looks like he was trying to target mostly the black children and the non-white kids. That's what it looks like, because we see what the victims were. But see, I'm going to say something about this, because I'm the type of person that if I see something happen over and over again, I'm going to try to work out a solution to the problem and a strategy. The modern American school system should be built different. Now, what do I mean by that? It should be constructed in a way that before you get into the school building and get in the main area of the campus, it should be a dividing station. I said station for a reason, where when you pass through there, hey, just like at the airports, they get to see everything that's on you, okay? If you got a weapon, you ain't gonna go through there. You shouldn't be able to go around or under and over, nothing like that until you pass through this particular area, okay? And it should be armed security in there. We got to get to this point, because these kids, if they're gonna go to public school, they shouldn't have to be dealing with this. I hate for anybody to have to lose a child. That's something no parent should have to know what that feels like, is to bury your child. It's not supposed to be that way. It's supposed to be the other way around. So the design of the modern school system needs to change, okay? It needs to be, even if you have to take extra time, you know what I'm saying, before you begin normal operations at the school, it's worth it to have that security check coming into the school, and then you got to exit out the same way. There should be no stone left unturned. Okay, and then, look, here's another thing. Let me go here. While you're spending all of our American tax dollars on Ukraine and giving everything to these illegal aliens that don't even belong over here, why don't you take some of that money, since you're not going to give us reparations, but you're going to cut that check for the reparations. But until you do, why don't you spend some of that money on designing these schools to have bulletproof windows, doors, things of that nature? Okay, so that way, if you do happen to get the kids into safety or what have you, hey, look, they're going to have some work to do, huh? They'll have some work to do. That will help save lives and buy some time. I mean, don't say they don't have the money to do it. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. See, I'm the type of person, when I see something like that, I analyze all potential solutions, okay? There should be some type of precautionary measures here. And like I said, this is why I say the design of the modern school system needs to change, okay? It needs to be designed to defend against that, okay? In the school, there should be a bulletproof area. You know what I'm saying? Some bulletproof areas where, hey, if you can get in here, you can, everybody's secure in here until law enforcement or the National Guard, whatever it needs to be, comes to deal with this, hey, I mean, we got to start looking at these types of things. Now, do I have all the answers? No, I don't. But I have some. So what I'm saying is, across America, if you listen to the sound of my voice, if you actually care about the children, you better start bringing this up and your local legislature and your city council meetings. You better start saying, hey, man, nope. And see, this is another thing, too, while I'm on this. When it comes to our taxpayer dollars, everybody in America should agree with this. It has to change on how we have a say on what we want our money spent on and what we don't want to spend on, okay? And this should definitely be one of the main concerns about people that have children in schools, okay? We need to say, hey, nope, a part of this budget this year is going to go to making sure this school is safe and actually has some defensive mechanisms against these little psychotic bastards, okay? I'm just saying, man, we got to start coming up with certain things and pushing the issue on this. And see, neither political candidate, Trump nor Kamami, was talking about these types of issues either, okay? They wasn't. So that's going to come from the people, as always. The concerns that we have is going to have to come from us. We can't expect a politician to actually care about that because, in all honesty, for this Democrat or Republican, they live gilded lifestyles. They don't know anything about this type of stuff. That doesn't really hit their family like that, okay? Because their family is well protected from most of this stuff. They in private schools or home schools or sometimes going to school out the country, okay? So I'm just saying that's something that all Americans should agree with me on this. Let's get back to it.
That's what investigators are trying to figure out right now. It appears Gray had a troubling home life growing up. He was living with his father, Colin, while his mother, Marcy, lived with her parents hours away in Fitzgerald, Georgia. Gray's mom, Marcy, has a criminal history dating back to 2007. She was sentenced to jail last December, around the time it's believed Colin Gray bought his son an AR-15 style rifle for Christmas. In December, Gray pled guilty to counts of using a license plate to conceal identity, damage to property, and trespassing/family violence. Marcy was sentenced to 5 years in jail, but only served 46 days before she was released on probation. She had to take part in a family violence intervention program and not use drugs or alcohol. But then in April of this year, Marcy was charged in connection with a case of aggravated battery of a 73-year-old woman. She allegedly threw the woman against the wall.
Did you hear that, family? How many of you knew this about his parents here? Oh, do we have some little degenerate criminals? Oh, because they're always talking about, if you believe that lie about we're 13% of the population, something's wrong with you. You need your head examined. Numbers either go up or down. They don't stay the same for decades on end. But the little white supremacists are saying you're 13% of the population, but you commit 52% of the crimes. Oh, really? Well, these little specimens of criminality here, now we see why your little devil spawn was so demented. Because, hey, it starts at home, like I said again. This was his example. See, I get it. The white supremacists tell us they have such high IQs. Okay, they love to say that. But, if you have such high IQs, you should realize that a child's first examples are the parents of how to be an adult in society. So when you got two fuck-ups for parents, because that's what they are, hey, he didn't really stand a chance. Probably no normal person in his family is here around that's an upstanding person. He probably got a family full of damn criminals. I'm going there. I want y'all to listen to hear what they're talking about here, what she did here. This is outrageous, man.
Broke a mirror in her home and tied the woman's hands and feet to keep her from leaving. She reportedly has not yet been indicted in that case and was released on bond. Marcy has previously said on her LinkedIn page that she was a victim of domestic abuse at the hands of her husband, Colin. Court records show.
Okay, so if that's the case, if you was a victim of domestic abuse at the hands of your husband there, so you going to inflict that same abuse on an elder? And I hope that elderly lady wasn't black, because, man, listen, dude. Let me tell you something. It's one thing we don't play in Black America. You messing with our elderly. We don't play that game. I need to find that out. What was the race of the elderly person? I'm going to do some digging on that. If y'all know, let me know in the comments or what have you. I do want to know that. I'm going to go actively searching for that information about that. But see, you sit here and she claims, oh, I was a victim of abuse, but then you go out and start abusing other people. So now you can just imagine. Now we're getting a clearer picture of what Colt Gray's home life was like. It wasn't stable or normal in any stretch of the imagination. This was not a healthy family at all. Larry Elder, where you at, man? Get your little Oompa Loompa ass over here. We need you talking to them about Look, Jesse Lee Peterson, I need you too. Bring your little peanut head on over there and start talking to these white folks about their family structure. To see, we're getting Colt Grays, and he's not the only one, okay? This is a recurring problem with them. We need y'all to focus over there and direct your talents over there to trying to fix this problem, because, see, this is insane, man. This is what your kids that are normal, that don't have these problems, are having to deal with today, going to these schools. Let's let it continue.
So she had been banned from contacting Colin Gray without some sort of third-party intermediary being involved. A neighbor who lived next door to the Grays at their home in Jefferson, Georgia back in 2022 said she would hear screaming and yelling all the time, and that sometimes Marcy would lock the children outside. She also claimed to the New York Post that she would sometimes find Marcy passed out behind the wheel of her car in the driveway. Neighbors near the Grays' current home in Winder say they mostly kept to themselves. The Atlanta Journal-Constitution reports that
It's pronounced Winder, by the way. It's not Winder, it's Winder.
Marcy Gray was sued by a Chevrolet dealership in 2019. She reportedly bought a Chevy Suburban using a $10,000 check as a down payment, but the check bounced. Marcy was ordered to pay the dealership around $19,000, which included the money initially owed, plus interest and attorney fees. As news started to come out about the shooting at Appalachia High, the alleged shooter's aunt and Marcy's sister, Annie Pulhamis Brown, started writing on Facebook, and her post immediately went viral.
Now, listen to this in case you all hadn't heard this, because, again, I already told you he comes from a family of degenerates. Now, FBI, if a black person was talking like what we're about to see and hear, oh, man, you would not only go and get that person, you would start locking up people in that whole household. Oh, yeah, you would start getting cousins, next of kin, and everybody. If we start making threats like this, won't y'all listen to what this sister here is about to present?
A now deleted post said in part, quote, "I am not scared. I will not back down. I will not disrespect other parents and families that are dealing with this tragedy on the opposite end. They did not deserve this. With that said, I will not leave my nephew standing alone. When Uvalde happened, I told my own children only hurt people hurt people. I did everything I could to fight for my nephew. I will take care of my nephew and what he needs on this side. Just check yourself before you speak about a child that never asked to deal with the BS he saw on a daily basis." Pulhamis Brown was immediately condemned by people in the comments, and she soon deleted the posts. Meantime, within hours of the school shooting on Wednesday, the FBI's Atlanta field office released information about school shooting threats made in May of last year that were connected back to Colt Gray. We got our hands on the Jackson County investigative report about the conversation between deputies and Colt, as well as his father, Colin. The FBI had gotten a tip that someone planned to shoot up a middle school the next day. The info came from a user on a Discord chat. Discord is an online platform mainly used by video gamers to live stream. Investigators were able to connect the account to an email address linked to Colt. I responded to this address and spoke with Colin Gray and his 13-year-old son, Colt. Colin stated that he does not know what Discord is, stating that he works full-time and does not play video games. Colin allowed me to speak with Colt. Colt stated he used to have a Discord account, but deleted it prior to moving from their previous address. Colt expressed concern that someone is accusing him of threatening to shoot up a school, stating that he would never say such a thing, even in a joking manner. Colin informed me that he does have firearms in the house, but that they are hunting rifles. He stated Colt is allowed to use them when supervised, but he does not have unfettered access to them. This was prior to Colin allegedly purchasing a rifle from Colt for Christmas last year. Investigators linked the school shooting threat to multiple IP addresses all over the country. Because that exact source of the threat couldn't be identified, neither Colt nor Colin Gray were detained. The sheriff's office report states,
I guarantee you, if they was black, if it was Tyrone and Jerome, oh, they would have had no problem identifying them and tracking them down. Oh, no, look, case in point, I'm going to go here with it. Remember that footage they had of the Julio shooting there? Boy, they had that from multiple angles and extra ultra 4K. Oh, man, listen, we are in the most heavily surveilled society ever. Don't you let them give you that BS about they couldn't trace those IP addresses. Let it be one of our black asses suspected, not even have done, suspected or something like that. And watch how fast they find you. Huh? So yeah, I ain't letting them get away with that one. Let's let it continue.
This time, due to the inconsistent nature of the information received by the FBI, the allegation that Colt or Colin is the user behind the Discord account that made the threat cannot be substantiated. This case will be exceptionally cleared. As law enforcement dealt with the mayhem and uncertainty surrounding the shooting at Appalachia High School, other North Georgia school districts were dealing with threats of their own. In one case, Gainesville police arrested a 14-year-old, charging him with making a terroristic threat and disrupting operation of a public school after an alleged threat started circulating on social media. Officials in Athens, Clark County also announced they had a person in custody for hoax threats, this one a 12-year-old. They say he posted photos of guns he found online and listed names of schools. There were rumors in the hours after the attack that there was more than one shooter and that they planned to target as many schools as possible. In fact, another teen in Jackson County, where Colt Gray lived until recently, was heard saying on a school bus that he planned to, quote, finish the job. Deputies tracked the student down and arrested him. He's now in the same youth detention center as Colt.
And family, there you have it. You heard that information. Now, some of you might have known it. Some of you might not have. But yeah, man, listen, this is what we're dealing with out here today, or this is what these kids are dealing with out here today. And you're dealing with it as a whole if you're their parents. Let me tell you something. Black America, you better take this threat seriously, because the more and more as time goes along, when they see these numbers declining, you're going to see more of this type of erratic behavior. It's going to intensify. I just have to keep it a buck about that. So if you're head of household, as a black man, you have some serious decisions to make. Keep you and your family safe. Do what you got to do. As far as like, the great thing would be if you could send your child to a black private school, or, you know, homeschooling. That's going to be the alternative, the better and safer thing. At least, you know what I'm saying, you control what happens at your house. All right. And you know, we're going to have to make some different decisions. This is why we need a reparations, so we can build more of our own institutions that are operated and controlled and you know, funded by us. And see, if I had my way, that's how it would be in Black America. It would be the only people that would want to just keep their kids in school around these little Neander demons would be the people that just, hey, you got to learn the hard way. But if I had my way, we would all have our own black schools where it's like, nope, our kids are going to be safe over here. That food, because see, most black run schools don't have these kinds of problems. We don't. We just got to keep it a buck. We don't. They have the normal regular problems that people have out of kids in school, but this running the school to shoot up the school, the little black kids coming to shoot up the school, no, you don't see that. You don't see that at institutions that we actually run, operate, and control. You really don't. Okay? So that's my concern. I want our people to be safe, because white America, I'm going to say this to you, you still haven't learned yet. It's going to take something so tragic for you to finally realize that you're going to have to start dealing with this threat across the board, because, see, it should be mandatory in every one of them cases that you lock up the parents. See, they're starting to have to do it now because they're realizing some of the stuff I'm saying. Don't think they're not listening to this. Oh, yes, they are. If they're not listening live, they come back and listen. They are in every new black media space that you can name. I told y'all about how I caught a couple of them over there on Patreon. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. They are everywhere where we're talking about issues in their community that affect the whole of the country. They're listening. So if you're going to be listening, how about you take a responsible approach and start trying to solve these issues in your community, instead of always focusing on fabricated things in Black America that you make up. Choice is yours, but we're going to do whatever we need to do to protect our people in our community. So family, with that said, salute to everybody that contributed to the broadcast. Thank you very much for that. And now that we're at the tail end of dealing with the serious subject matter, for those of you that are Black Ocean Zone 2 Patreon tier members, I'm going to have a broadcast coming up. I'm going to go ahead and deal with it once and for all, because we got more serious issues to talk about. But I'm going to deal with Cheatgate there, you know what I'm saying? With Shannon Sharp, Sharpgate, we'll call it that. We're going to deal with Sharpgate in that situation. I got some things to say about that. That's definitely going to be over there on Patreon, okay? We're going to deal with it the way it's supposed to be dealt with, because, see, there's some things I need to say, and it's not so much about what happened with Shannon. I got an issue with how some adults are responding to that particular situation. Oh, we're going to deal with it over there. So just know if you're over there on the Black Ocean Zone 2 tier, you will be privy to that broadcast. There's a lot of content that I'm going to start doing that's only going to be in that tier. They're going to put content in the other one, and it'll be some free content from time to time, but the more serious stuff, I need to go into deep detail, will be in that particular tier. So just giving y'all a heads up about that. Be looking for that broadcast over there. So family, take care of yourselves. Please remember what I said about talking to your children. If you're a Black parent, about what's going on at their school, be informed about that so that you might, have to make a preemptive decision and remove them from that school, okay? Before they have to be in a Colt Gray situation. Take care of yourselves. Salute to you, Black First, and I will see you all in future content.